Hi, it's me, Rasheed Ogunlaru, coach, speaker, and author of Soul Trader and The Gift of Inner Success. And welcome to this To Catch the Coach, my monthly newsletter and video newsletter for inner fulfillment and meaningful progress. And here we are, it's November. This is the second to last episode of the year. And what's really interesting here is that my theme is two things: Thanksgiving and forward planning. Thanksgiving, being grateful for everything that we are, that we've had, and that we've experienced, and forward planning. It's apt because it's that time of the year in many cultures, belief systems, in many countries and places. It's Thanksgiving, which is linked to nature, harvesting, and so on. Post that way for the bounty that one might have. But it's also a time of forward planning, even its simplest. For animals, they know that winter's ahead. They might be putting food away for the winter, or it might well be that they're then thinking about hibernating. So the forward planning. For us as human beings, of course, there may well be far more levels to all of that Thanksgiving and that forward planning. So those are our two themes for this issue. So let's dive in. Just to say, of course, you can subscribe to this channel if you're wanting to stay in tune, and there's lots of also playlists and all sorts of stuff and resources that will help you in your personal journey, your inner journey, your career or your business journey, and so on. So there is this YouTube channel, by the way. There's also a Soul Trader channel separately, if you're interested in that. And of course, you can subscribe to the email version of this, where I often share additional tips and so on. You can just go to my website, rosario.com, and there you'll see on the homepage that you can subscribe to that newsletter for Catch the Coach. So let's dive in. So I'm going to keep this fairly concise. Our first theme is Thanksgiving. I have a saying that it's really important to focus, first of all, on what we have rather than what we lack. And in life, we tend to focus, first of all, more on what we lack than what it is that we have. So this thing of gratitude is really important. You may have heard me say it many times, and I'll say it many times again, to start every day with a large bowl of gratitude. Gratitude is the most nourishing food. So that's where we really, really begin. And I've got a couple of tips that are really going to help you with just on this gratitude side. Because if we're not careful, we'll just constantly be caught up in this tension of, oh, I haven't achieved this yet, don't have this, don't have that yet. So one of the things I'm going to invite you to do, get a piece of paper and a pen, or open up a computer thingy, and I'm going to get you to write a couple of lists. Write down a list of all of the things that you have, starting off with yourself, your health, loved ones, maybe you've got a roof over yourself and so on. Write a list of things that you have. Write a list of all the people that you're grateful for in your life. And then write a list of all the qualities you have, all the things you've achieved, and all the things perhaps you survived. Maybe in itself, you being here is quite something. That will really nourish you. That will help sustain you. That will help you move away from this obsession with what we lack to really appreciating all the things that we have. And in times like these, or at any time when we see what's going on globally, or if we look around in the natural world, very few things are a given. So this thing about gratitude can be very, very powerful, empowering, and grounding, and nourishing on very deep levels. So that's the thing about gratitude. So we're shifting from what we perceive that we lack to what we have. Now that we've done that, we can do part two, which is the forward planning. Because the forward planning bit, so if you like, there's the head and heart. I often talk about this. The heart bit, our heart, the gratitude, the acceptance of me, of life itself and others. Now we can deal with the head, the very practical things. Of course, we want to survive and to succeed and to progress. So this is where the planning bit comes in. Now, animals do it like we were saying before, putting things aside for the winter, or hibernating, the energy emerging again for that next season ahead. My tip for the month here then, when it comes to the forward planning, is to perhaps come up with a plan for yourself, short, medium, and long-term goals. So the short term might be perhaps between now and the end of the year. Your medium term, each person's going to be different. You might think, okay, medium term is all of the next year. And then your long term might well be, let's say, depending what's going on for you, whether you're doing this for yourself personally, in your business, in your career, you might think 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, whatever it is. It might depend what lens you're wanting to look at things through. So for example, it's quite interesting with this planning. Earlier this week, I had a catch up with my pension advisor. And we were kind of doing a brief bit of this because there's some things that were really short term in terms of some changes to make. We were then thinking about some things that we might want to do in terms of the medium term, over the next year or so, in that case. And of course, the pension itself is far longer term. It might be, depending on what age you're at, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, whatever. So that gives you an idea. And again, if you're wanting to do some strategic planning for yourself and your career, and you'll think about that goal setting piece, and if you're a client, you might want to get in touch for a goal setting session. I do some one-to-one coaching still, even though most of my coaching, as many of you know, now is for organizations, the workplace, for leaders and so on. But it might well be something you can do that planning piece for yourself, because the head wants a plan. The head loves a plan. The thing what's really important, as important as the planning is the checking in, it's the reviewing. Depending on what you're trying to do, it might be daily, might be weekly, might be monthly, and so on. So you've got that plan for yourself, your career, and so on. So, sit with that. What are the priorities for you, the things you're wanting to achieve personally, professionally, in your career and your business between now and December, the end of the year? What perhaps are the priorities and the things for you to address in the medium term, which for you might be the year ahead, and then for the longer term? And of course, that checking in and reviewing. And one of the things that we do know about life, and it's one of the last chapters, it's the final chapter actually in the Soul Trader book, is change, that everything will change. The world will change, everything will be changed. My actual product of the month that I want to flag up, you may know this already, but it is the 15th anniversary of this book, The Gift of Inner Success. So wrapping up with that whole thing about gratitude and appreciation, this is about embracing the magic that you already possess. You can get this you can get the audio version where I talk, the audio talk version via my website, rosario.com, or you can get this online. Go to Amazon and you can buy it in the usual way. And it's a nice, quick read. You can read it on a train journey, but it's nourishing and you can keep returning to it. So that's that. I just want to wish you all the best as you embrace that gratitude and as you do that planning ahead for yourself and for the things that are really, really important to you. And there's something about this balance and knowing when it is about just the acceptance and the gratitude and the things that are really near and close to you, the very day-to-day things, the immediate things, and when it is about that longer term planning and being able to pivot between the two, knowing, of course, that things will shift. That's the nature of life. And that's why it's really nice tying in with these themes of nature, the harvesting, this whole thing about the Thanksgiving and the forward planning. Take good care. Have yourself a wonderful month ahead. Lots of love from me, Rasheed. One last thing. I was going to just wrap up, but I was going to say, to help you with your forward planning, of course, to help you with forward planning, remember I run 2 events. So if you are thinking about, right, I'm going to take Rasheed's advice, I'm going to put these things into my diary, I'm going to do my forward planning things. So one of the things that you might want to be doing is join me for the last dates for Soul Trader, my Soul Trader free webinar, and my Networking for Success webinar. These may well be useful. The Soul Trader one's really useful for you if you're on that journey of being your own boss. The Networking for Success one's really useful to help you in terms of your career development, but also your business if you happen to be in business. And there are 2 more dates. They're both on the same day. We've got one on the 8th of November and one on the 6th of December. So both sessions are run on the same day. The morning session is Soul Trader and the afternoon session is Networking for Success. They're an hour and a half and an hour respectively. So go onto my website and you can, it will take you through to the Eventbrite page, and they're both free. So come along and it might help you as you plan ahead. Take good care. Lots of love from me.